Well,
Do you think that table is bigger?
what table? Oh,
Why?
you want to do it here?
Yeah, where else will we do it?
No, at a mic or something.
Dude, we've tried that. It never picks up.
Yeah, Happy Earth would work too.
Happy Earth wouldn't be bad.
Happy Earth is actually
We
pretty
could,
good.
yeah, we could try and figure something out. It's just quiet here. You don't like.
But
There's
I want
no
some-
like wind and shit.
But I want something visually, because it's one of those things. What I was doing before, it's one of those things
Well,
where
that's what
I
I
think
was
it's funny
thinking.
and no one else gets it.
Well, that's what I was thinking. What if like we had it so we were like this and it was just like
And he was right
Logan
here.
in the
We
middle.
would be
Yeah.
very squished. But if it was just if you're sitting right here,
Do you think the mic would pick up all of us? I mean, I guess we could test it right now. Testing.
I'm very tempted to go better.
You know?
I don't know if they
right
get better
here.
than this, stronger than
This
this. That are
thing
this
picks
small.
up well.
It is, but it never picks up more than 3 people.
Oh, it was made in Australia. That's why.
Happy Earth is great because of the
Aussies.
acoustics in that place are good.
Yeah.
This place is good because we're really close, and it looks kind of dope the way we look down. It looks like a rap record.
And we are looking down on you because you are beneath us.
But
You, the viewer.
and that lady that was sitting over there, actually, we caught a lot of what she was saying.
It picked up? Really?
Yeah.
Then it could definitely
That's a
handle.
really funny clip. It didn't get any views, though. It didn't get a lot of views, though. I wanted Waldeck to be on the fucking face, wanted to be the face of the Preppy murders. But he just, he never says no to me, but I just know it's a no because of how uncomfortable he gets. Like, how easily I always make him uncomfortable. You know?
Yeah, you do that with a lot of people, Paul.
I don't think that's necessary. Well, with Waldeck, it's special. But, because, like, I'm
Because
always looking for
Waldeck's
the...
special.
But I wanted him to do I wanted him to be the Preppy murderer. I had a picture of him in a suit going like this.
Oh, that picture?
that?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I was like, dude, I really want your permission to do this. I'm not going to just do it because I'm putting your face next to a video
Yeah.
about
And he
Robert
said
Chambers, an actual murderer.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't say no. He'd be like, I was like, I like this picture and all this stuff. And I was like, listen to the clip and all this stuff. And then I was like, and he would just say stuff like, cool. But I was like, I need yes. Because this is a real asshole move if you don't.
Paul cares more about the consent of a man putting his picture on a YouTube video than he does the consent of a woman sexually. Cool.
Well,
is
I put more
no.
care. I put more.
Yeah,
I was
if,
more careful with him than I was with Norm Macdonald.
Exactly. Cool is an okay if you're about to get laid.
Did you see my Instagram post?
I don't think so.
I tagged Norm Macdonald and I put it on a mug. And then I put mugs of wisdom because he had a bit.
You have a Norm Macdonald mug?
No,
Is that
there's
what
there's
you're
a thing. There's a meme generator that I'm just really into meme generators. There's a meme generator that will put your meme on a mug.
That's pretty cool.
But it's a joke. It's a reference to a joke that he told.
Oh, okay.
He looked me in the eye and he said something. He said something. I can't remember what he said. But then he goes, I should put that. And he looked me right in the eye and he goes, I should put that on a mug. And I just burst out laughing. But I only burst out laughing because he was looking at me. I know this is a creepy. This is a convoluted. This is like complicated. But I
Dude,
put
when
mugs of
people
wisdom.
stare at you, comedians stare at you in the audience, like, you have to laugh.
Oh, or a performer, yeah.
It's the people that don't, I have immense respect for.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
one time I was running sound at Noreen's, and some dude, I don't even know, I don't think I've seen him before or since, but he was talking about, like, getting turned down or something. I was just sitting there because I had to. I was just kind of like nodding along, and eventually he was focused on me, and
Yeah.
and I was just uncomfortable. So I was just like laughing and nodding, and he was like, "Bitch, do you know how much that sucks?" And then he just kept calling me bitch. He didn't like say you're a bitch. He would just say bitch, and then just talk to me more, and I was super uncomfortable. It sucked, but I was dying of fake laughter.
Were you a Jackpot when Tabloid did that?
I don't think so.
Tabloid did that to me. She said something about racist white people, and she looked right at me. And I just started laughing, and then I got really uncomfortable. But Garth Brooks says he flies. No, seriously, I watched that country music documentary. he flies over the audience, right? And he says that he tries to look in people's eyes as often as possible.
That dude's crazy.
Yeah, but oh, dude, yeah,
You
those are
can't
the
be
best.
at his level of success and not be a terrible person. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think it's possible, but I always figure like if you're successful,
Dude,
you don't have to be an asshole anymore.
But it's everything you see now is just more about iconic people turning out to be terrible, terrible people.
You know, if I got booked more, I'd be less of an asshole. But I had but he did that thing where he pretended to be like a rock singer, like he wanted to be David Bowie, so he created a character.
What was that dude's name?
Chris something or other.
I remember that.
He played on SNL.
I remember that because
When you sell that many records, you can just get away with that. But I can't imagine he goes around like,
I mean, he's
peeing
done.
on
Yeah,
homeless
he's
people.
like literally sold out arenas.
Yeah, I mean you're
Like that. He's an incredibly successful man.
He's said something about Trump. That's risky for a country singer. Oh, Dixie Chicks.
Oh, he said something against him. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought. Yeah, they didn't. I mean, they said that about Bush, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing that. I remember that. It was
Hey,
like right
speaking of
around
which-
the same time Kanye West went up and did the whole George Bush doesn't care about black people thing.
Oh yeah, that got him. See, that got him props in the country music. Yeah.
What, like,
See, Natalie Maine should have been a rapper.
John Denver should have been a rapper.
Should have been the Eminem. John Denver. John Denver's great. John Denver stood up to the PMRC and complained about Rocky Mountain High getting banned from the radio. He basically got up there and went, censorship is stupid.
Y'all are whack.
Yeah, y'all are whack.
Y'all
And that's coming from
whack as
John Denver, the
fuck.
star of Oh God, with George Burns, is
John
saying that y'all are
Denver.
whack.
His last name is a very popular city. Like,
His last name has the snootiest open mics. That's such a gorgeous fucking city. I can imagine that's why it's so expensive, man.
Denver? I've never been to Colorado.
That city's so expensive.
Always
I got
wanted to.
that city's so expensive. I got tipped by a homeless person.
Yo, what happened? How
Did you
that
like
end?
my stupid Moscow joke? I was like, to punish the audience.
I loved every second of it.
Oh God, that mic was. What happened to the nerd again?
The nerd?
You said that they spent a bunch of money.
Oh, they like that back room where it was just kind of like empty and there was a small stage, and then like for a while like they had like this big beanbag that was
Yeah, I
shaped like
remember.
Jabba the Hutt. You remember all
Yeah,
that?
I did a couple.
Okay, yeah. Oh God, that was a terrible mic. But they like shut it down and like put a nice stage on it and like painted it and like
Yeah.
to turn it into like try and turn it into a comedy club portion of it. I think it was called the Loft. I mean, it still probably is, but and they did like a few variety shows with comedy and like Penny Poison went up. I did a couple roast battles for it. It was cool. It's just like Fremont is so like God, it's just too fucking crazy.
I don't know why you would shut that down.
I mean, like I said, it might not be shut down. I just haven't seen many things about shows there.
Why doesn't just Ian take it?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I don't know but like, cause one like a mic on Fremont. That's one reason I never went to it after the first time because like it just wasn't worth it. Like
The parking?
parking, just all of it. Like I hate the Strip so
Parking's
much.
free is free after 10.
Where?
Just right around the corner. You can find a spot.
Oh, you mean on the street and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still like, and then if you do that, you gotta walk like 6 blocks, which isn't really much, but no, I probably only had to walk like 3. that
Really?
one
I get
time.
mad at myself for not going to the Strip more often. I'm like, I always try to
It's
think,
just
what would
like,
I...
there's
What,
just so much madness.
I'm
and, like,
really
I don't
disappointing my
drink.
high school self a lot of times. Yeah, I know, but there's other things you can do. But anyways.
I mean,
Well, you
yeah,
got a
if
girlfriend
I
now,
got
so-
booked there, I would totally.
Yeah, but that
I would
fucking
totally
mic
could
was
deal with it.
fucking hilariously awful.
It was super bad. It was
No,
really
no,
bad.
the one, it was me and Waldeck.
Oh, you mean at the okay.
Dude, and
Next to the
just,
giant dick, right? No,
yeah.
it was at the bowling alley.
And then I was telling him about how I wanted to use his picture. And he still didn't say yes. So then I go, okay, fine. Nobody watched that stupid documentary, anyways. And then there too, the impeachment happened. So, but then, well, it's on AMC, man. Here's the problem. It's got Linda Fairstein in it, who's like the villain in that When They See Us movie that was on Netflix. So Netflix isn't going to have this documentary on. And because she's been canceled. And
What'd she do? She say some racist shit?
she framed 5 kids for a rape
Oh, that's
and
cool.
attempted murder, and they did like 10 years in prison.
Those kids did?
Yeah.
So they got a lot of money from her, I'm guessing.
They got a lot of money from the state, yeah, but the prosecutors are exempt from lawsuits and prosecution. That's what makes them so corrupt. That's why Kamala Harris can't run for president.
I didn't know that.
Joe Biden, who just said marijuana is a gateway drug, that's how bad he is.
He
The
just said it.
campaigning, yes, that's how goofy he's gone. That's how far gone he is. That's how stupid he is,
thinks
right?
it's the 70s,
The
dude.
one burn he actually landed was Kamala Harris was criticizing him about either busing or some crime bill he passed. I've been incarcerated a lot of black people, and then his exact comeback was, "Yeah, but I wasn't a prosecutor." Done. She's like, "Yeah," and that's why she lost. She's a prosecutor. She tried to frame somebody because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Because they can get away with it. You give somebody absolute power, and they just think of people as numbers. They're just gonna fucking lock you up. That's 5 people versus 1.
They made a documentary about that Duke lacrosse team in like the early 2000s. Do you know what I'm talking about? They got in trouble
Oh, with the stripper?
with the stripper.
Yeah.
And like she would just completely like set them up, and like the DA or whatever, or the prosecutor guy was just like, they found a lot of evidence of him fucking up so that he could get elected or whatever again.
Mm-hmm.
That's a super good documentary. I forget what it was, like Fabulous Lies or some shit like that. But yeah, they got down deep, man. That shit was fucked up. Like for the thing for her to identify which boys, I guess men at that point, like raped her or whatever, they didn't. They just gave her like a lineup of all the guys. Like they didn't even put.
Oh, they didn't mix it up?
Yeah, they didn't. It was literally just her going this, and like there was no way like to check her accountability on it or anything like that.
Really?
Yeah, and like
Duke lacrosse players?
yeah,
So they did this, they were stupid enough to do this to rich kids?
yeah, I guess so.
That's
I mean,
dumb.
well, like everybody
What
was
city was
against
this?
them. North Carolina, where Duke is.
But you're not gonna fucking convict somebody who has money.
Dude, it took a long
I mean,
time
if they're
because
guilty.
like it got to the point on the thing where it was like people were just trusting what the prosecutor guy was saying, and he was getting all over TV because he wanted to get reelected as that spot.
but they
and
get to
like
sue the state.
people would just start saying the guy instead, like they wouldn't even say his name. They're just like, the guy said that they're guilty, and then eventually like it all the bullshit from them like doing a dirty investigation and whatnot came out, and those kids got hell of money in a settlement.
Yep.
Because it like people would like protest them, and like their season got canceled. I think they stopped going to classes. Like it ruined their lives.
That's why I fucking hate cops and prosecutors that's one main reason, is because if I sue you, yeah, you can pay me or not pay me. Doesn't really matter. Fucking Red Zone sued Freddie. They're not gonna pay him. He never got a dime. But if you sue a business, they have insurance. If you sue a cop or a prosecutor, that's taxpayers. You're gonna get paid, and it's taxpayers.
Well, I thought about that.
But what's the one, Tawana Bradley, or I can't remember. This might have been the 80s. This was the 80s. It was a woman who claimed she got gang raped by cops. That's how Al Sharpton. One of the reasons Al Sharpton got famous. Then it turned out she made that up. But what's funny about Spike Lee is if you watch Do the Right Thing, he's having a argument with his sister because she's flirting with Danny Aiello, and he didn't like that, and so he's like arguing with her, and then when she walks away and he walks away and says, "I still believe Tawana Prom," whatever her name is, that was after it was found out she made it up. Like, that dude is so fucking funny, man.
Mookie.
Fucking Mookie. I love that fucking movie, man.
One thing that bothered me, well, it didn't bother me, but it's just always been funny, is like within the first 3 minutes he's at the pizza place and he's like, "Let me get some extra mozzarella." And it's just like,
I say that at the pizza place now.
It's always like made me laugh in general when people say it, but
Put some more mozzarella on that
especially
shit.
when a black guy says it, it just seems even funnier for some reason.
I used to love D,
Like,
motherfucking D.
If anybody doesn't give a shit about
When he's arguing with the grocer, D, motherfucking D. And Sweet Dick Willie. Sweet Dick Willie. I want to watch a Robin Harris fucking special. I think he's got a fuck one on YouTube. That motherfucker. It's hilarious. Hey, man. There's something I forgot to bring up that's appropriate. It's very appropriate. I think I told you this in passing, and this is really embarrassing, so you can make fun of me while you want to. The upload, when it uploads, we get a lot of dislikes on there. I don't care because
Do we really?
dislikes are just as effective as likes.
We get dislikes.
Just
for
like
real?
negative, yeah.
That's awesome.
Negative comments are just as good as positive comments. They're just comments.
People actually comment.
They've been commenting on my Chick-fil-A video.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
One comment went, "What am I doing here?" And then the one guy who lip synced at Happy Earth, I
Yeah.
posted that.
Oh,
And
God.
one person put 2 question marks,
Did
and then
that one
another
also
person put
say-
2 question marks.
Did that one also say Paul leaves Ben Shapiro speechless?
They all say Paul leaves
I
Ben
know,
Shapiro
I was-
speechless.
I was
And
telling Logan about that. I was
This
like,
is hilarious.
He just posts his sets and then just titles them.
Well, I changed your title fast because I didn't want you to get pissed off. I didn't want you to get dislikes that you didn't earn. Because what happens is Ben Shapiro fans, the Ben Shapiro fans, just type in fanatically, and then they go dislike, because this has nothing to do with Ben Shapiro. I'm going to leave the title for this one, though, because I'm going to explain it. So, I don't understand a lot of stuff about YouTube. So, I also didn't know what I was going to do for a show. And one thing I do sometimes, maybe you do this too, if you spend a lot of time alone, sometimes you talk to the TV.
Are you getting arguments with someone on the TV?
Well, not getting into the arguments, just crack jokes, like one-liners and shit.
Oh, yeah, I definitely do.
And then sometimes I try to post that on Facebook, but it's hard to explain it because they're not there.
I mean, that's where most of my material comes from, is watching TV and just being like, "Oh, here's something funny about it."
Yeah.
I have a very sad life, Paul. Like, I'm pretty much like, this is the most, other than open mics, this is the most uplifting thing I do. And this is pretty sad.
So, like, I'm watching Jeopardy the other day, for instance. Okay, so there's a
You
thing
know what my
called
favorite
navel
thing about
gaze.
Jeopardy is?
So they have a thing called navel gaze. That's the population, and you show a picture, and it's a bunch of sailors on a ship, and then it says "gaze at this ship's deck, gaze on this ship upon this ship's deck," and I was like, clearly they're sailors. They're sailors, you know. I know they're sailors. That's redundant.
The fact that you were able to say something, like, I probably would have just started laughing as soon as, like, that's how mature I am. I think I'm better at doing that when people are around, though.
That Juan
I
Epstein
handle
fucking.
movies and TV well.
That Juan Epstein fucking meme I made. Fuck it, I could not stop laughing at that. But you didn't see my Juan Epstein?
I probably did. I've just seen a lot of Epstein memes.
There's a picture of Juan Epstein sitting next to Donald Trump. So then I clipped a Business Insider headline, and then I put Juan over Jeffrey.
Yeah, I've seen that. Okay.
I couldn't stop laughing at that, dude. And then I did an Epstein's mom reference, but whatever. So
No one
that's a
thinks they're
Welcome
as
Back,
funny as
Cotter.
Paul thinks he is.
Well, you should watch Welcome Back, Cotter.
If I had a way to access it easily, I would watch Welcome Back.
You can
Kotter.
probably find it on YouTube. You should just watch one
I've
episode.
tried.
So, anyways, my point is I cracked myself up. So I had an idea for a YouTube show. I assumed nobody. I was new in Vegas. I assumed nobody would have anything to do with me. So I just put an
I
iPhone.
mean, you're pretty old to Vegas now, and still
That's
nobody has it.
Well, only the cool people. So I turned on the TV, and then my idea was I was going to film myself talking to the TV, and the first thing I found was Ben Shapiro on a show talking about Kanye West. And so it's essentially a video of me yelling at the TV. And I was like, this just doesn't work. Not because it's crazy, but because I just didn't have the width on the camera for it.
Yeah, so it was just picking it up over.
I didn't have a mic yet either. Because it's still
Like,
awesome.
fuck you, Ben.
Yeah, okay. I would just be ripping on him like that's what your mom said.
Why are you making fun of a mentally ill man that just needs a proper prescription and he should be okay?
Because he went up to a transgender person, actually the transgender person who filmed OJ and his Bronco and later had a sex change operation or whatever, and now identifies as a woman because he called her mentally ill.
He was referring
And
to
she's like, I'm gonna punch you in your stupid face.
Being transgendered is a mental illness.
Yeah.
That's a weird take.
But no, the transgender person threatened to punch him in his
so
face
weird.
and stuff, and then he's like,
Yeah.
"Look at these transgender
Was it
people;
male
they're
to female?
crazy."
Do you know? Was it male to female?
He was a guy
female
when he
male?
filmed the Bronco.
So it was male to female. Okay.
He's a lady now.
And then he was gonna pull up them panties and just start fucking
By the way,
wrecking old Ben.
if female is offensive, like, how do you get through, like, so do you get, like, 50% of your biology questions wrong?
Dude, that whole thing is dumb. Like, there's no point in talking about
Yeah,
that.
I know. So anyways, for
I've
some
never-
reason, the default setting says Ben Shapiro, Paul leaves Ben Shapiro speechless, and that's based on Ben Shapiro leaves some like tranny speechless or whatever.
I'm sure there's plenty of
Yeah.
videos with Ben. Somebody leaves. I get you.
Yeah. So that's why it's called Paul leaves Ben Shapiro speechless, and I like that. Really, it makes me laugh that Ben Shapiro fans, if I leave it overnight, like, anywhere between 4 to 10 Ben Shapiro
They're bored.
fans.
They're really bored.
And they're desperate.
If they're watching this.
Yeah, they're desperate. And also, there's also people like me that just want to find Ben Shapiro get made fun of, which he does get made fun of a lot.
You think he's queer?
Yeah.
He's just very adamant about.
He's
being
really obsessed with it. He's very obsessed with gay people.
Very. He talks about it a lot.
Chapel Trap House read a book that he wrote. It's supposed to be like a Tom Clancy type thriller.
Oh God.
I'm serious.
John Grisham
They all
and
do
Tom
that.
Clancy is a
They all
pretty
do that.
long transition.
Different genres.
Yeah. I read Splinter Cell though.
Which
One
one's
of
that?
them.
Is that Tom Clancy?
Yeah, it's a Tom Clancy. He's like a spy.
Yeah, spy stuff.
Yeah. Go on.
Who did you picture as the main character? Harrison Ford, Ben Affleck, or Alec Baldwin?
Well, mainly I just pictured it because like I played the Splinter Cell video games, and like
It's a video game.
you don't really dude. Tom Clancy's like his books have quite a few. Like Rainbow Six has had like 3 or 4. Splinter Cell has had like 3 or 4 different games. But like he's always got like night vision goggles and it's like in all black and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so like that's kind
Who
of
does he
just
look
what
like?
I don't really know. I just kind of pictured him like that in the video game.
There's a Sopranos video game, but I saw it online and I don't know if it was real or not.
I mean,
It looked real.
There was a Scarface video game. It would
I
all.
remember
It's
that.
all just Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
worship. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
well, there's a Godfather video game too, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's a Godfather 3 video game. It's
Anyways,
garbage.
Chapo read parts of the book, and the descriptions of certain men in it
Are
are
just
very
super-
accurate. I mean, his writing is really bad, but like he doesn't like pay attention to a lot of detail until he's talking about dudes, especially like masculine, southern, rough and tumble.
He's got it tight.
Mike Rowe, if he actually had a job, that shit, you know. But that would be.
I can see it.
Man, I told myself I had stuff to talk about. And I think that covers it. The Ben Shapiro thing. Anyways, I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to have a clip called Ben Shapiro is a fucking homo. Dude, his sister. His
Ben
sister's
Shapiro's a
boobs.
fucking homo.
Dude, there's a picture.
It's so funny.
There's a clip on YouTube of, you know
It's
what I...
such like a fucking 14-year-old. Ben
He
Shapiro's
is a 14.
fucking homo.
That's what he sounds like a 14-year-old that
He
nobody
does.
likes, who brings a briefcase to fucking high school and shit. He does. He reminds me of that.
He's a high school student that wore a suit every day.
Well, actually,
Or
shut the fuck
at the
up.
very least, a button up.
We had a guy like that in our school. I used to. This is how stupid Joe Biden is. I used to debate gateway drugs in high school, and I used to have like sound arguments.
This was
then.
like 76.
This was like the 60s. This is when high school was still in black and white.
This is when high school was cool, dude.
This is when they
that
called.
shit got
This is when we
lame.
called it tea.
It's whenever you could smoke out in the courtyard.
This is when we called them reefer cigarettes. This is when they used to say that it could lead to jazz, and I used to be like, no, it's the other way around.
Jazz leads to marijuana.
Exactly.
I gotta switch out my clothes.